Partying.
Every weekend.
Wow, you here with a head
Ragers.
hangover?
No,
And-
I'm just tired. I'm not used to staying up late.
We're gonna wait another minute or two for Linda, because we gotta get on the Zoom.
It was the class
Sorry.
before me's 25th college reunion,
Oh,
Ooh.
which has like pretty much 3/4 of the people I hung out with, and then my class is next year. I got back yesterday. And before
Wow.
that was like
Linda, you didn't lock the door, did you?
concert week.
Yeah, I said, do you want me to open it back
No,
up?
it's
I didn't
fine.
have time to do anything.
You'll be going down when I'm going down, so,
Oh, okay.
Emailed me.
yeah, no, it's fine.
All right, did you log into the Zoom?
that says on air. Are we already on air?
Okay, I gotta log into the
Whoa,
Zoom.
okay. Good. Thank you.
I apologize to anyone
can we
who
just-
did not email, or who I did not email back yet. I was on vacation.
I don't know.
I
On
don't,
the air.
She's talking to, are we on the Zoom?
No,
Will take us a minute to set up the Zoom.
is it 816?
You should just be able to click on it in
Oh,
the
right
email.
there. Okay. 916?
uh, 816.
Right.
Yeah.
1347-8472.
Yeah, I put the wrong shoes on. I left the house, I went, nobody will see.
Okay, thanks. Boy, the night went by so fast. Oh, passcode.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a cramp from that, so don't do that.
All right,
Are we Zoom on?
we are almost on.
Okay.
Yep. Trying the computer.
And ask Heidi if we can take over. Heidi?
I'll transfer it over to you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank
Enjoy the
you.
summer.
Thank you.
So I think we're live, and that's muted, so we don't get feedback, I hope.
It sounds like it's muted.
Okay.
Or we'd have feedback right now.
Are the speakers working?
Oh, do you want me to mute?
No.
Are the speakers in the room working? Technology folks? Are we live? Can you hear that? Can you hear that from the speakers?
You want to borrow one of my hearing
Can you go a little louder?
I don't hear anything.
We're not
from
hearing
either
the
of us.
speakers
Put that together and like.
in the room. Thank you. Hello? Hello, hello, hello? These microphones should be working in the room. Can you hear us coming out of the speakers?
I did for a second.
We'll give it a minute.
Put together.
Test 1, 2, not hearing much. We're just working on the technology for the room, make sure we're all set.
Wanted me to bring that up.
Okay.
Can't hear you, anything? Anybody there? Is up, what?
Oh,
Sarah, we have people in the room, they can't hear us without the microphone.
Want
Is
me
there a
to-
speaker in the room?
okay.
Are we live?
All right, bye.
Tell me when you can hear us. Oh, thank you. I think we got it. Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody ever starts that way. I'm going to call the meeting to order of the Lunenburg Board of Assessors for June 3rd, 2024. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and broadcast live over the Lunenburg Public Access channel on Facebook Live on the Public Access Facebook page, https://www.facebook.com/Lunenburg-public-access-cable 1-57427-270-975-305/. The recording can be found at the Lunenburg Access YouTube channel after the meeting. The meeting will be held in person at this location, which is the Bellata Room of the Lunenburg Town Hall. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting will not be suspended nor terminated if the technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast, unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in any specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. For remote participation from a computer, please use the link that I will now read to you to join the public meeting webinar. To join Zoom, it's https://us02wb.zoom.us/j/816-134-78472 PWB equal lowercase d, uppercase f, uppercase j, lowercase b, uppercase t, lowercase l, lowercase r, lowercase a, capital, uppercase G, the number 95, uppercase W, uppercase U, lowercase t, lowercase q, capital L. That's not a part, okay. The number 3, oh boy, lowercase h, p, d, 0, uppercase r, g, z, w, f, lowercase n, capital U, T, 09. The meeting ID is 816.
Recording in progress.
The meeting ID is 816-1347-8472, and the pass code is 9577771. From a telephone, dial toll-free number 888-475-4499 and enter the webinar ID, which is the same, 816-1347-8472, followed by the pound sign. If you have not registered for Zoom, you'll be asked your name and an email address. Note, no participant ID is needed. Just press the pound sign when asked. Telephone users may dial *9 to request to speak after joining the meeting. Computer and app users may use the raise hand feature to request to speak. The agenda lists all topics which may be discussed at the meeting and those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken as a result of these discussions. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by the open meeting law. I will now call us to order. If we would just go around the room and introduce ourselves.
John Rabbit?
Sarah Kammer.
Linda McQuaid.
Rena Sweezy.
And I'm Brian LaFond. The first order of business is to determine the Board of Assessors organization for the next fiscal year. Each year, as the membership changes, our roles could potentially change if we so choose. I'll take any nominations that someone may have.
I would like to nominate Brian as chairman. Brian LaFond as chairman.
I second that nomination.
Nominations are closed. And nomination for the vice chair.
I would like to nominate Sarah for vice chair.
I would second Ms. Kammer.
Okay.
Nominations are closed. And nominations for clerk.
I nominate Chair Cabot.
Oh, thank you.
I would second the
Thank
Jack
you.
Rabbit nomination. Nominations are closed. We can vote on all three of them, I think, at once. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Well, that was quick. Opening comments. Any opening comments from the board?
Mr. Chairman, if I could, or sorry,
Certainly. Move up to
ahead.
I'd like to, if I could, just make two quick comments. I had a chance to cruise the Gateway Assessment Management tool, and I noticed that Sheila was still listed there. Is that something, a piece of paperwork that we need to fill out and send into them? Or is it, do we go through Heather? I'm not sure of the protocol.
Actually, Becky just sent an email to update the directory to
Good.
this morning, so that's something I'm going to do. Yeah,
Okay.
We have to do that.
Good. Good. The second part, Mr. Chairman, I had a chance, over the past year or so, I've had a chance to sit in on some meetings with our assessors and the citizens. And the first time I ever met Rena was when she came out and ordered the house. And I found her to be very, very pleasant, extraordinarily knowledgeable, and just kind of it was a good experience. This past week, 2 weeks ago, I had a chance to sit in on a meeting with Linda and one of the residents. And again, I have to come to the conclusion that we are just blessed to have two really compassionate people and sensitive. And, you know, I saw you working with them to ask them questions at the same time to help them and give them, and honestly, we are just one lucky town to have you.
Oh,
We really are, honest to
Thank you.
God. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think we'll echo those as well.
Definitely.
Thank you, Mr. Ray.
And we feel the same way about you all.
Well, for now. Is, any further comments, Mr.
No.
Ray?
Thank
Any
you very
comments
much,
from
Chairman.
Ms. Cameron?
No.
No? None from me. I will now open it up for comments from the public. We have members of the public here. Did you want to speak or not?
I was just here about an abatement request, so I don't know when that happens.
When we go into executive session, we'll be discussing the abatements. We haven't covered this one yet, right?
No.
Okay. So what we'll do is, in deference to you, we'll cover your abatement request first when we go into executive session, because we can't talk about other people's abatements with people in the room, but we could talk about yours.
Okay.
So you have to unfortunately sit through about an hour of this.
All right. I didn't understand.
That's okay. Most people wouldn't know that,
It'd be
but,
more interesting, though, if I could hear you.
well,
I
we'll-
can hear you, but I can't hear anybody else.
so if you put your microphones closer to your mouths, everyone,
Can you hear me okay?
that should help.
Okay.
Thank you. Status report from the principal assessor. I believe that she dropped a copy with us. We can go through each item if you'd like.
Just wanted to give you our monthly accomplishments. We received a total of 42 real estate and personal property abatements, and to date, we've inspected and processed 39 of them. We have 3 remaining, and I also received mailed out another omitted bill, sorry, I can't even speak tonight, totaling $8,688.42, and that was for the building portion of a new construction home that was missed for FY 2024, and that was mailed out on May 28th. We are having an issue right now with the billing, with the tax collector as far as determining the responsibility of the prelim and actual billing, and whose responsibility it is to handle that process. We last week conducted interviews for the administrative assessing assistant. We had 4 candidates, and we've narrowed the list down to 2. So we hope to make a decision in the next week or so for that candidate. And I'm continuing to review the 102 building permits from 22 and 23, just to make sure that all of them have been included in vision. So that's ongoing. And as far as our goals for next month, we plan to inspect, review, and complete the remaining 3 FY 2024 real estate and personal property abatements, to continue to review the open building permits to determine the percentage complete as of June 30th, and also work on our FY 2025 growth, which was actually left off. So that's, 2025 is only, 3.5 weeks away, so getting ready for that. We hope to hire the new administrative assessing assistant and start training, get our bills out by the end of June, And I also plan on attending the MAAO Summer Conference, June 24th to the 27th in Plymouth.
Thank
It's
you.
just an update.
And I suspect this will lead to some questions, so
Yes.
Yeah.
any questions?
May
Feel free.
I don't want to pick too much at this, but the tax collector bill and that kind of thing, has it escalated to the town manager to weigh in yet?
It has.
Okay, so that's in her
Yeah.
purview.
It's still not resolved.
No. There is a consultant coming in from Munis next Friday, and he will be assisting the town in the billing process for the prelims. But going forward, there seems to be a discrepancy on who's going to handle the billing. And it hasn't been done by the assessor in the past, so the tax collector who's done it for the past 3 assessors is saying that it should be our responsibility. And
Okay.
it's-
Also, you mentioned that we inspected and processed 39. Do you mean that in the office you have gotten those and we haven't quite weighed in on those
No.
yet?
Right, yep.
But the inspections have been done and all of that?
Yep, the inspections, the analysis, and we hope to go through those tonight if possible, but we've actually completed our process, just waiting for board approval.
Okay, thank you.
As you recall,
three
last
left.
time we met, we went through nearly 20 of them.
Yeah.
We have another nearly 20 of them to go through tonight.
And
And
there's
then,
3 left.
then there'll be 3 that are left that have some special circumstances that will need to be extended beyond tonight.
Yeah, due to inspections that are beyond tonight's meeting.
Right. You have any questions, Mr. Rabbit?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In continuation of Sarah's question, is this, the assessing department is having an issue with the tax collector on the responsibilities of preliminary and actual billing for the assessor? Is this a Munis thing, or is this precipitated by the Munis, or why the need for change?
Well, this was just brought to our attention, I guess, in the past. The Marlene in the tax collecting, the
Okay,
tax collector has been doing it, and now there's a pushback to have the assessor do this process. And it's something that, we're not familiar with. In actual billing, I've entered exemptions, but to take the file from the beginning, typically we generate the
Right.
file from Vision, and we give it to the tax collector.
transmit it over.
And we
That's-
transmit it over.
May I ask one
Yes.
question?
Yeah.
How do other towns allocate this responsibility?
It's actually, mostly it's the tax collector. There are a few towns that do it. And for some reason, I'm not sure whether they have more staff, but typically the assessor does not handle the tax billing process. We handle assessments, the valuation. We don't handle the
So just
actual
a-
billing process.
So we have reached out to a number of communities, about 10, give or take.
Yeah, pretty much,
Yeah.
And I think we found one community where most of the work is done in the assessor's office, and all the rest of the communities, this work is done by the tax collector, who creates the bills and collects the money. So the requirement would be for someone in the assessor's office to have a good deal of Munis expertise. We don't have that today. We don't intend to try to get that. As Linda mentioned, the town is trying to hire a consultant, which we are going to be talking to next week. They have some expertise in Munis and may be able to help us through the process. I had a meeting with the town manager to let her know that I didn't believe this was a responsibility of the Board of Assessors or the assessing department, that it was really a responsibility of the tax collector, and that I'd be happy that if we hired somebody, a third party, to have to do it, but that person should be under the direction, in my opinion, of the tax collector, not the
Agreed.
assessors. So it's still up in the air, since the town manager wasn't in today, and I wasn't able to talk to her last week. I don't know where that is landed. And I don't know if you have any further updates to that, either Linda or Rena.
No, I don't. At this point, I know that I've been having a finance meeting every week, and Heather was actually out last week, but the push is still for the assessor to do that. And, but
The push is coming from the tax
it's
collector.
coming from the tax collector
So-
to, not from the town manager.
Mr. Chairman, I would think that we had the system as an arm's length transaction function to assure that there was not one party that captured the whole system, because we have a history in town where one of those systems, we had a purchasing person, the superintendent person
Yeah.
signing off, and then we don't want to go there.
That's neither here nor there about this situation, and you're absolutely correct. I believe that we all support the fact that there needs to be a hands-off,
Yeah.
a handoff at a point in time, at a point during the process.
Yeah.
So, and that point has been made to the town manager and to the tax collector, and to the finance manager, director, what's his
Director,
title?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, it's not completely resolved, although we, the assessor's office, are not going to be doing the work. It, right now, it looks like it's going to be a third-party consultant. So you're absolutely right. I don't know what we can do about it.
Yeah.
Other than continue to raise the flag and scream loudly if we need to.
I did speak with an assessor in another community, and she made a good point that if this has been done by the tax collector for all these years, why is it necessary for the town to seek a consultant and add the extra expense? So, and I
that's-
said, actually, you have a good point.
But that's up to the town manager to figure out.
It is, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I did mention that to the finance director, though. So,
So this may be our first controversy since last September. We've had lots of conversations about things, but I don't think we've had anything that was controversial. Any further questions on any of the?
No.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Next order of business is to review the minutes of May 20th. I printed off copies in case anyone didn't have them. And I will say that I made one correction. I found another correction that need be made. Oh,
I will just copy.
okay. I'll share.
so for the minutes, when we refer to Rena, we should be referring to Rena Sweezy as the assessing consultant. That was not what was on the minutes last time, so I've already fixed that.
Thank you.
Under the status from municipal assessor, Linda McQuaid states that abatement period ended last Thursday. No, the abatement application period ended last Thursday from May 20th. So it was May 16th, just for clarification. And on the third page, it says public. There was no comments from the public, so I'll change that to were no comments. Beyond that, read through them and let me know if you see anything that need to be fixed.
I was fine with it, Mr. Chairman. And if these are the only changes, I would support moving ahead with it and approving it.
If anybody's going to find
Oh,
a
Sarah, of
grammatical
course.
error, it's going to be
Yeah.
Sarah.
There she goes.
And-
It's actually red today, I'm sorry.
No, that's good. Red's best. Just one other comment, under the status report, the way it's written, it says, Rena Sweezy and Linda McQuaid settled 4 ATB cases from 2023. I'm not sure that it should be written that way, but I didn't know how to best write it. I don't think you guys did it,
No.
at least not alone.
No, we did not.
So I'd entertain any modification of that sentence that you'd like.
Processed.
The Board of Assessors.
Process settlement, does that work for you both?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll make those changes so far. Anything else?
Just minor.
If you want, I'll just read these. There was a bill from,
Is it MLS?
it should be MLS for settlement, so it's a lowercase l. No problem, I'll fix that. The other members, including Rena Sweezy as the contractor, I'll change that, under update neighborhood review. There's a punctuation error under postponed topics, 41C, parenthetically, and potential, 41D. There's a comma, and it should indeed have been a close parenthesis. There were no comments, yeah, we'll get that one, and Brownflower drafted a letter to be sent to the people who received adjusted bills that had an exemption on the property where the property value was misstated. So you should say bills in the plural, and misstated should be hyphenated. I'll make those changes and get them in, if anybody wants to approve them as amended.
I motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Review and approve invoices, expense vouchers, payroll, billing errors, etc.
I forgot that
We
from
have
the
much?
last year's.
Do you want me to go get it?
If you just give me the key. You might want to just go on to something else for another minute. I forgot that file downstairs.
We're going to entertain a little bit of agenda flex.
Do you want me to go get it?
Made that up.
No, I've used it before. Could we, if we could get an update on the neighborhood review team proposal?
So I have done very little on that the past 2 weeks. I've been doing a lot of other things that I had previously planned. I am still looking for a realtor, so if anyone knows someone who'd like to be involved in said committee, please have them reach out to me. And the other thing is I'll be sending a doodle poll to the people who have volunteered to figure out dates that they can meet, because I'd like to do that primarily over Zoom.
Okay. We really need to close on the Realtor soon. I don't know, anybody has, Linda may or may not have familiarity with Realtors in the Lunenburg area.
Yeah, so I'm going to hope that I get someone, but still proceed if I don't get any
It's
volunteers.
not a showstopper.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We run into too many showstoppers.
Is there a
We could
Lynn-
wait forever for the perfect group.
Lynn Walsh, maybe?
Yeah, I
in
was
front of us is
thinking
what we-
Lynn.
Beverly D'Agostino is another Realtor that I know.
Would you like to reach out?
I can reach out to her.
Thank you.
And see if she wants to.
And you had a name?
Oh, well, it was Lynn Walsh.
Do you know Lynn Walsh?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know her
Okay.
personally, but,
You want me to try and
Yeah,
reach out?
that'd be good.
So you both have an assignment.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Call Lynn.
Yeah.
And
And run it by Rena. She had a couple of people in mind,
Okay.
but they didn't work out so far.
And I don't need to be in the middle of that conversation. You guys can communicate with Sarah directly,
Yeah.
please.
They're going to ask, what does this thing look like, Sarah, and I'm going to give them your name.
Yep, I have a sheet,
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, good.
Yeah.
and then I'll add dates to it
Okay.
this week.
If she asks me how often the meetings are,
The goal is to actually try to get it done and squared away by the end of the summer.
okay.
So what I've done so far is I've taken all of our addresses and information and geocoded them into a GIS database so we can look. And then I've got to do a couple of amendment of tables to incorporate the other things I've gotten. And then the first week is really so people who are unfamiliar with what's required have time to talk about it. And the next weeks we'll be looking at what our current neighborhood assignments are and what could be supported by our handbook and other communities. So
So
first 3 weeks are kind of an intense look at previous information, and then I've slated 4 to 8 weeks to look through the neighborhoods and make proposed recommendations, and then come back to the board. I keep turning my head. Can you hear me okay?
Maybe
You
not,
guys seen Singing in the Rain when the person first learns?
that you can't, yeah. Speak into the microphone.
It wasn't,
Okay, thank you.
I was showing you that file today.
And it's misplaced?
Yeah.
Okay, we will, if there are no other expense vouchers, payroll, or billing errors, or anything to be signed, we won't sign anything tonight.
Through these.
We'll meet next week, so,
Maybe, probably.
yeah.
it's always a way.
Okay. We can move past that. We have several postponed items. We're not going to talk about them at the moment, I don't think, unless anybody has something they want to specifically address.
You wanted a current business roll-on?
Oh, yes, actually, I just read it and said, oh, good, and then
I'm heartbroken. You
should be. Brief status on the rollout of our website.
Okay, as you,
find it.
as well as I, am aware early this afternoon, Cara came back and said, hey, we're done. She's caught up. So what'll happen is I will start doing my full scrub down. Thursday's gonna rain all day, so that's a good day to do it. So I will do the scrub down. She's asked that, when will the board approve swapping out the current one for the future? And so my intent was to finish the scrub down. I believe we possibly have a meeting next week, and I've asked that you folks go ahead and just take a quick look at it. I'll print you out some new big ones if you want them, and then go ahead and approve the moving up.
If it's okay with you, if you would just resend us the pointer to the website that we'll be using.
Oh, sure.
As our little test site,
Okay,
and then we can go in and look at it and,
try and break stuff.
I'm good at that. But we'll review it, and then we can potentially finalize this if we meet next Monday night, which we will confirm shortly.
It says board signature.
Thank you, and
I thought
great
I put it-
progress. Thank you.
Slow but sure.
That's where I thought I put it.
So we're not going to go through any of the postponed events, unless someone has something that they want to talk about there.
I was going to use it for closing comments, that's all.
Okay. We have an upcoming meeting tentatively scheduled for next Monday. We don't have a location yet, but it appears that even if we meet next Monday, we won't close all of the abatement applications because some of the inspections will not have taken place, at least one.
There's two for the one for the last week of the month. And then I believe there's two next week, but
During,
they're
Next week.
later. They're late, it's
So
like.
they're all later than the
They're
10th?
after the 10th, right.
or 9th. Okay, then we'll finish up whatever we can on the abatements this evening, and then we can meet on the 10th, and we will probably have not much in the way of additional abatements information to review. So we won't have to go to executive session, probably.
Could we do the 17th?
So I'll find a location for next Monday.
Could we do the 17th?
We are,
Would that work?
there was,
I'm out of town, but,
right,
it doesn't mean you can't meet.
prefer to have the full board here when we,
Okay.
at least for now.
Yep.
So we may have a somewhat truncated agenda at that point as well. If we do meet next Monday, the next meeting thereafter that we've been able to agree to, a date is July 22nd, which is an awfully long gap. But if we are doing just once a month during the summer, that's once a month, marginally. I don't know if there's any other time we could meet sooner than that during July. When we had our discussion, I couldn't find a date that was better. So,
I think we all had different conflicts.
yep.
It won't break my heart.
Okay, let's nail that down then, and, if we need to adjust it next week,
Yeah.
because there's something that cropped up, we will do so, but otherwise, right now, let's plan on July 22nd and August 19th. Is that not going to work?
Yeah, and not next week, right?
We will
Next week.
meet next week.
We will, okay.
Oh, okay.
And again, that may be somewhat truncated, but clean up the business that's here in front of us, and thank you. 10th, 22nd, 19th, thank you. That was all that was on the open agenda. We will move to public, closing comments from the public. Any closing comments from the public? Any closing comments from the board? Is there somebody up on?
There's no one that I see on Zoom.
I should do that before I do the board.
Yeah, that's it.
No,
No.
nobody on Zoom.
They have the meeting. this-
No hands waving.
That would be,
Oh, public, okay.
we're all set on Zoom.
Okay. And there's no comments from the public? Okay. We are then, I will entertain, what? Oh,
Comments from the board.
I will entertain comments from the board.
Sorry. Okay, I thought I would just quickly bring the board up to date. I'm meeting with Adam Costa on June 24th, two separate meetings. One to review the 41A deferral process and share the information we've gathered so far. I was speaking with Becky on and off yes, today too. Essentially, do you have any network of anybody knowing anybody doing 41As? And she only says, I only know the one, Natick, and she says, I don't know. And I asked her, is there a database that reflects anywhere in DOR that's got, she was not that she is aware of, the 41A?
I don't think they would be on the database
Yeah,
because
that's what
it's too much confidential information on those.
Or even,
There should be a list, though,
or town or
Or
something.
maybe,
that they've
yeah.
adopted it, and they have 1 or 10 or 4,000.
Okay.
But I don't know of one either.
So if, Rena and Linda, if you could tap into your network and ask anybody, because otherwise she's suggesting that basically I just start calling around to the local towns and seeing if they've ever tried it. And I'm just trying to understand the processes they used. And I was going to attempt to ask Adam as well as if he was aware of any of his clients were doing things. So if I get a process down, then we might actually be able to identify a couple of banks that have played and get some information out of them. I'm also sending, the white paper with regard to keeping myself out of trouble, with regard to me bringing things up out of order. And so I'm meeting with Adam to just go through the flow chart with him in terms of how we can communicate without violating any open meeting law privileges. So that's the other piece of it. And the other part is that Becky was unaware of the House Bill 3911 the town just passed, but we haven't yet received it. Is that correct? From the State House? Approved, signed? They had to send it back?
Takes a while to go through the Attorney General's office. It takes a while.
It's still in the Attorney General's
It
office?
takes a while to get that back from the
Yeah.
Attorney General's office.
Because I was asking if she knew anything about it. She says, it's news to me, can you send it to me? So we'll pass that along.
A clarifying question, is that the means?
I'm sorry?
Means-based?
Means-based,
tested?
well, it's, what they're doing is securing 1% of the levy amount in this. And,
This is the proposal that two of our select board brought to,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was asking.
That's all we need to know.
okay, and so I'm thinking that perhaps, Brian, if you could ask Heather if she had any, when they were working this thing out, do they have an intended flow or how things might, in terms of how the flow might work? And is this gonna all go into the overlay? Plus, how is this all gonna work? So, these are things we should know before we kick off the program.
Okay.
You think? So could you do that, or do you?
That's a reasonable question.
Yeah. So,
I'll
other,
ask the reasonable question.
okay, there you go. I'm done, thank you.
I have one more thing to add. Rena and I on this Thursday are going to the Worcester County Assessors Association. There's a meeting in Shrewsbury.
Yeah?
And Jim Crowley, the attorney for the Department of Revenue, sorry. I don't know did anyone hear that? I can repeat it. Rena and I this Thursday are going to a meeting for the Worcester County Assessors Association. and it's going to talk about the exemptions. And Jim Crowley from the Department of Revenue, who we all, Brian, myself, and Rena spoke with about a month ago, he will be there giving a presentation. So we will see if we can find out more information.
Ooh, snag them.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good timing. Thank
Yeah.
you. Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent.
So their instructions are to bring along every piece of paper that's there.
And take pictures?
It's like, wow. Yeah. Jim Crowley's a very knowledgeable attorney. He's been there forever. I mean, a long, long, long time. So when we were having our conversation, he was bringing up things that he knew that happened, 35 years ago on a Wednesday. So he has a great memory. So if you need to know anything about exemptions,
He's the guy.
he's the guy. So thank goodness that he's going to be the one that presents.
Yep.
So good luck remembering everything he says.
Yep, we will take notes.
Prodigious. Okay, we are going to be moving into executive session. I know we're going to be covering your property. You guys were you here to talk about your property, or just, we're going to be excusing people from the room, but if there was something about your property we needed to talk about, I wasn't aware of it. Okay, good. Thank you. I will entertain a motion to move into executive session, enter executive session.
Can I read off?
You can read off mine. It's like a reading. Here.
Motion to enter into executive session, to suspend open meeting and enter into executive session, not to return to open session after exiting executive session under purpose 7, to comply with or act under the authority of any general or special or federal grant aid and aid requirements. And this executive session, what's being cited as applications for abatement or exemption under this chapter shall, except in proceedings before the county commissioners, the appellate tax board, or a court of the Commonwealth, be open only to the inspection of the assessors, the commissioner, the deputies, clerks, and assistants of either the assessors or the commissioner, and such other officials or designated private auditors of the Commonwealth. Chapter 59, Section 60 of MGL is the law being cited. Motion to adjourn.
You going to hear a second?
Second. I'm just trying to figure out where did the rest of it go?
All in favor of moving into executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye. Thank you.
Okay, I'm just,
So. What? Yeah, yours is all done. I just didn't know why you were, I thought maybe you had something you wanted to add. And I didn't want to overlook
Recording
you.
stopped.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we need to be off the air.
We are ready to move off the air, please.